IMAPS, which means um, the Internet Message Access Protocol Secure. It is a protocol used by email clients that secures their emails as it passes through the servers. It works by using the encryption, ensuring that all the communication between the client email and the client server is secure. It goes a couple of main features, which are email retrieval, synchronization between the messages across all devices, and the S alone means secure, so it's security is one of the features as well. Here we're going to cover how to configure the Dovecot protocol so your IMAPS port can listen. On Linux systems, you use one sudo app update, sudo app installed. You got Red Hat based systems such as CentOS and Fedora. Now you're gonna have the protocol where you can enable and start Dovecot services, and also have them check into port 993 as it also listens. Once you install these services from IMAPS, you're gonna need to kind of protect them a little bit more by hardening. And by hardening, we mean adding extra layers of security. Why would we want to do that? Because Dovecot may allow unencrypted connections. This could expose sensitive information. So to use the encryption, you're gonna make sure all the data that's transmitted between the servers are encrypted. This slide shows you how to configure that and get that process started. Secondly, using in the hardening techniques, you'll limit access to Dovecot based on IP addresses. This reduces your attack footprint, so it minimizes the risk of unauthorized access. One more hardening technique for you to do, enable and configure the fail to ban to protect against brute force attacks. We definitely want to do that because you could be vulnerable to forced login attempts. And the fail to ban helps to mitigate those risks by blocking the IP addresses if they try to connect too many times. By implementing these three hardening measures, you will significantly improve the security of your Dovecot server on Linux. Now let's cover the DNS, which is the domain name system. Domain name system, commonly called DNS. The purpose of this system is to transport domain names, common names like we all use, www.hero.com. Transfer that into a machine readable IP address. It works by contacting the DNS server once you type in your website browser, and this looks up the corresponding IP address to the domain name that you used. The main features of this system is that it converts the domain name to IP addresses without you even having to do anything. It's also distributed across the whole network, making it fast and scalable. And also the catching portion of it retains the web addresses and IP addresses in memory so it can help you find them again faster. To configure domain name systems on Windows, we're going to use IIS, which is Internet Information Service Manager. To begin using IIS, you want to follow these manual that you see on your screen here. Following all four of these steps, you will have sufficiently installed DNS on your Windows device and configured it using the IIS manager. Next, we're going to cover what is Berkeley Internet Name Domain, known as BIND. It's a widely used software by DNS servers. And here's how you're going to set it up by following the steps on your screen. Now, as they say, this will get you started. This will get the bind set up on your DNS server, but for a detailed guide on how to set it up, as you see the last sentence, refer to docs.redhat.com. We're going to go over some hardening recommendations for DNS. Why do we want to do that? We want to, just like with the IMAPS, we want to add that extra layer of security by authenticating the responses so you prevent other attackers from manipulating your records. Number two hardening recommendation is restrict zone transfer to trusted servers. Yeah, you would like to do that. So you won't be having people attack and make copies of your information and try to use it against you later. By implementing these hardening measures, you can reduce the risk of DNS-related vulnerabilities and attacks, as we all would like to. Summary. Sum it all up. You have two protocols here today, IMAPS and DNS. IMAPS focuses securely on accessing and managing email servers. DNS help you translate those domain names into IP addresses which the computer reads to help you with web browsing and all your internet service access. Both of these play essential roles in online communications, and both of them we use every day, so we should keep them safe and as secure as possible. Here's are the references in case you want to go back and check in on them about yourself. That's our time for today, and see you on the next one.